Hey, what's up guys, Ravenclaw here and welcome back to the Ravenclaw channel, and today we are continuing on with part 3 of my BM Hunter guide, and we are looking at gear and corruption that is going to benefit you in your PvE adventures, so let's get to it. Alright guys, now let's look at some gear. I'm going to go in this in pieces. So first we're going to start with the Azurite gear, so that's the head, the shoulders and the chest. Then we'll go over to the braces to the boots, because these can vary, but we'll give you a general idea of what to look for. And then we'll go over rings and trinkets. So as for the Azurite pieces, the ones that are what I believe to be the best are Helm of Actualized Visions, which gives you the Primal Instincts, Dance of Death, Overwhelming Power. And if you want to know more about traits, you can go back to the last part of this guide and I go over all of which ones do what and how to get them and why. Okay, so the last vestige of Neltharion, jeez, the names of these pieces are wild. But, so this one comes with the Primal Instincts, Dance of Death, and Overwhelming Power. And the shoulders, they can vary depending on which piece you've actually gotten. For example, the Corrupted Gladiators chains, they come with the Primal Instincts, Rapid Reload, and Overwhelming Power. The Gaping Maw Shoulder Guard, they come with the Primal Instincts, Rapid Reload, and Blood Siphon. So Blood Siphon, I don't think I went over this one and the other one. That increases your Mastery and your Leech by a certain percentage too. So these two shoulder pieces are both, in my opinion, good ones to go for because they both come with the Primal Instinct. This will allow you to have 3 stacks of Primal Instinct. Go to the guide just before this to understand why that is good. Alright, so next. Now for what I call the off pieces, like your braces, hands, belt and stuff, this can vary due to what corruption piece you get. But generally speaking, with these pieces, you want to make sure that you're prioritizing crit. So like pieces like, for example, the wrists, you can go for, say, the wrist links of the Alchemical Transfusion, which is your crit mastery. Then you've got something like Gauntlets of Eternal Service, which is crit versatility. Nefarious Tormentor's Belt, crit haste. Greaves of the Forbidden Magics, which is your crit mastery. Or you can go for something like the Greaves of the Twilight Drake, which is your crit inverse. Generally speaking, you want to shoot for critical strike on these pieces. This will, like I said, will depend on what corruption you land, because when you do get a corruption piece, it's best to sim it, because generally speaking, it will potentially work better, even if it's like haste mastery or something like that. Alright, now the rings. There's a whole bunch of different rings. Generally speaking, we just want to shoot for as much critical strike as we can get. Okay, so for example, the Mechagon rings, which is your logic loop of division and recursion, those come with an absolute buttload of crit. Remember to keep a sort of a nice balance between your crit and mastery, but yeah, so you've also got your Ring of Collective Consciousness, that's your crit haste again, but yeah, so those are sort of the ones that I believe will benefit you the most. Once again, sim all of these things to make sure that they are going to give you the DPS that you're after. Alright, so for the trinkets, we can get things like the Humming Black Dragon Scale. This is the trinket that procs the wings behind everyone's back, if you're interested into how that was happening. This does has 2 effects. The main one is it increases your haste. Okay, so for a BM Hunter, we want to get as much passive haste as possible. It also has an on-use ability which slows your falling speed, which is pretty cool. The next one is the Vita Charge Titan Shard. This is a great haste trinket, not only for you, but it also benefits your party. What else have we got? The Ashvane's Razor Coral. This is an awesome critical strike trinket. So as you all know, we're trying to stack as much crit as possible to get all of the benefits from that. What else have we got? We've got the set piece to the Vita Charge Titan Shard is the Void Twisted Titan Shard. Not only will this help with your crit, but it'll also give you a boost to your agility as well. So that's an awesome little set bonus. The other one is the loaded dice. This is awesome, but it is and it isn't at the same time. So this, it's like rolling the dice. It'll give you a buff to your crit, your haste, and your mastery, and it can stack if it procs more than once, I guess. It's great. I've had it proc more than once and had it stack up, which is great, but the proc rate isn't that good, in my opinion. But still a great one to go for from the Mythics. And we've also got the Gale Caller's Boon. This is an awesome haste trinket. It does mean that you have to place a ward on the ground to get the benefits. So this one is more beneficial if you know that you won't be moving around much. But yeah, so those are my choices for the trinkets. And as for the bow, the one that I've been going with is the Whispering Eldritch Bow from the raid. This one with its corruption, which gives you your auto shots reduce the remaining cooldown of a random hunter ability by 2 seconds. I mean, it's great, but then it's also not great at the same time. But what I mean by that is it's not a targeted reduction, so it could just target reduce anything. But hey, at the end of the day, a reduced cooldown on anything is still going to benefit you. But yeah, so that is it for the gear. Now we'll go have a look at the corruption. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about now is the corruption, how to get them, and what's going to benefit you the most as a BM hunter. And I'm also going to refer to these as obviously your rank 3 version of corruption. That's obviously going to give you the most output and damage. Alright, so the first one we want to go for is Whispered Truths. Your auto shots reduce the remaining cooldown of a random hunter ability by 2 seconds. The next one is Severe. Increases the amount of critical strike you gain from all sources by 12%. Okay, next you've got Expedient. Increases the amount of haste you gain from all sources by 12%. This is once again great to have as we want to try and get that passive haste to reduce our global cooldown and get our focus coming back up. The next one is the Ineffable Truth. Your spells and abilities have a chance to show you the ineffable truth, increasing the rate of your cooldowns. So your cooldown reduction is reduced by 50% for 10 seconds. Once again, this is going to help you get into, say, Bestial Wrath, Aspect of the Wild, and so on and so forth more often. We've got Masterful. Increases the amount of mastery you gain from all sources by 12%. And last one, this is up to you guys, but Void Ritual. Gain Void Ritual, giving your spells and abilities a chance to increase all secondary stats by 63 every second for 20 seconds. This chance is increased if at least 2 nearby allies have the Void Ritual corruption as well. So yeah, those ones are the ones that I believe are going to benefit you the most. Once again, sim all of these with your current gear to see what is going to give you the most output. And one of the best ways to get corruption pieces is to run the visions. You can do a full clear of the visions. That'll give you your base level piece, which is I think 445. Then you want to run like a 3, a 4, and a 5 mask, because if you do that every week, you're going to get a 460, 465, and a 470 corruption piece guaranteed. But yeah, that concludes the third part of our BM Hunter Guide. Hopefully this will give you an idea of what to shoot for and help you out getting that damage to kill everything that is in the world of Warcraft. So as always, guys, you be safe out there in this crazy world we're living in, and as always, you keep on sniping, and I will see you all in the next video.